Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and we're back with another review, and I hope everyone's having a great start to the new year. And after the last review, I figured I need a little bit of a palate cleanser, and sure enough, Amazon was able to provide that to me with Studio Series 86 Galvatron. Now, some of you might be asking, Chuck, don't we already have the Studio Series 86 Galvatron? And, well, technically no, but as many of you know, this mold was first released in the Kingdom line as a leader class figure, which it is right here. And that one featured a little bit of the siege smudge, as well as a running defect with the shoulders here were assembled incorrectly. And then the reason why that figure was part of Kingdom was that at the time it was meant to celebrate the 35th anniversary of Transformers the movie, but then at the last minute Hasbro decided to do a dedicated subline of Studio Series, so the figures that were going to be released in Kingdom stayed in Kingdom, and then the other ones got transferred over to Studio Series 86. That explains why Galvatron has a lot of extra blast ports and stuff like that. Now, the figure was re-released, assembled correctly in the Legacy line, same paint scheme, and that's the one I have. Now, in between that and the original Kingdom release, there was a Generation Selects release that was done in a toy accurate deco with stickers. There was also a fourth release that I think might have been in between that time as well, that was a black purple translucent type of design where it was Galvatron reformatting. You know, when he goes from Megatron to Galvatron, it's at that in between point. So there was that, and now we're here. Now, of course, this doesn't even take into account the figure that was just released a few months ago. I think it's Straxus. That was a retool of this mold. So between Kingdom, Legacy, Generation Selects, two of them, because that other Galvatron was Generation Selects, this and this is the sixth use of the mold. So there's that. Now, you might be asking what's different, and a lot of this has to do with the shade of a purplish blue that's used here, which is a little more accurate to the film. Now, let me return the figure to a neutral pose. You know, all the articulation here is the same, yada, yada, yada. And we'll go ahead and bring in the original, the OG Galvatron. Well, actually, I should not say the OG Galvatron. This is the Legacy Galvatron. I had the Kingdom Galvatron. I didn't touch it because of the shoulder issues, especially when I found out that it was getting re-released in Legacy. And, oh boy, this is a little dusty. Hold on a second here. Got to put the little blow on it. There we go. And as you can see, there is a definite difference in the shades of lavender here. This is a much more bluish purple, where this is a much more lavender purple, purplish purple, purple de perp. But yeah, it's an interesting figure. Oh boy, this is really like, oh, dusty schmutzty, but it's not affecting the color at all. I'm sure you guys aren't seeing that, even though this is 4K. But really, that's about it. I mean, there's metallic paint where there should be the flat gray, which is more animation accurate. Now, to be honest with you, why was this released in this color first? I don't know exactly what that's accurate to. Because I mean, the OG Galvatron G1 toy was done in that gray. There was never there was like an encore release that was done in purple. It was actually more that shade, so that could be it. Maybe there were some couple scenes from the season 3 where, yeah, they kind of that's what it looked like. Who knows? But in terms of accuracy to the movie, and for what I remember from the series, this is the shade right here. Now, to be honest with you, I think being the 5th, 6th use of the mold, they kind of could have given us maybe some open hands like they did with Starscream. But again, that was, I think, more to drive up the price point, because we were taking a Voyager that was going to be sold as a leader with a bunch of extra accessories. So, I mean, you can see here a lot of the detailing is similar. You still have that red section there down the front. You know, I mean, people have always pointed out that there is a lot of detailing on Galvatron that's very similar to Unicron, and I guess maybe Unicron was making a figure making a robot in his image. So you see that down the side here. There's a little bit more detail here on the treads. There's more detail here on the back, which like both of these, like, I don't know, it's like you think they're leaning back, so you just do that, but more of the details there on the back. And of course you have that translucent barrel, where on the animation one it's just you know, straight plastic. So there's that for you. So what we'll do now is, having done that comparison, which I'm sure most of you are here for, I'll take you through the transformation to go from robot mode to cannon mode. Okay, to get into the transformation, first thing you want to do is remove the cannon here. Next, what you want to do is go ahead and fold up the fists, and then if you have it tabbed in here with the tread, you want to unpeg that just so you can have a little wiggle room with the arms here. They're going to fold up and tab into this place there, and then you'll bring the tread down and around. Now, they kind of show you angling the tread ever so slightly. I'll be honest with you, don't worry about it right now. You're going to move that around and jostle it so many times. Don't worry about it till you're ready to like pose the cannon, but do it again here on this side. And of course, if you want to use that bicep swivel, you do have to like unpeg the treads from the back of the shoulder. Bring the side skirts all the way around out front like that, so you can have some clearance. Next, what you can do is come underneath here, flip up the heels, come around the back, flip these side panels around, and what you'll do is there's a slot right there that this will tab into. I'll give it a little, it's a little decoration right there. Rotate the legs so the feet are facing outward, and then tab it all together. Get it, make sure the joints snap into place there, so you have that solid chunk of plastic. Now you're going to come up and we're going to separate the shoulders. Basically what you're doing is there's two connection points. There's a tab and slot there, and then you have a tab and slot in that armpit. You're bringing both of these down just like so. Just get them out of the way. Do it again on this side, just like that. And now we can come around to the back here, fold this up, fold that little tip up slightly, because you're going to accordion it in and fold it. And what you want to do is then fold it around, and that will tab in underneath like that. Open up this back panel, and then you'll untab the chest from the front, shimmy this around till the head sits in that cavity. Bring the chest down. There's really no place for it to peg in up top here, but what you're going to do is it will now tab. There's a tab there on the chest that will tab in and keep that compartment closed. Untab the chest from that section, and you'll just bring it around like that, and then you're going to fold this section up and around. Now, obviously, the legs are not giving you enough clearance to have the chest come down flat. So the first thing you want to do is bring the arms back up over the top like that. They're not going to tab in. You're just doing that to get out of the way. So you can rotate the legs backwards. And there are two tabs here on the outside that were on the outside of the leg. They're going to tab into that back section, and that will give you that clearance to bring the chest down flush like that. Now this is a little bit of a tricky part, because you're going to have a blind tab right here. There's a tab right there that's going to go into that armpit joint of the slot, And that's one connector point. The other connection point is actually going to be um, underneath the chest. And that's actually the more important one that's going to be able to hold uh, everything into place. So you want to make sure that snaps in. And then what you do here is you tab in the hip skirt to the front there. So do it again on this side. Get that to tab in and then give it a good push here. Sometimes it'll snap, sometimes it won't, but that is secure in place. And now what you can do is straighten out the legs, because I'm sure they've been disturbed. Come around the back here, push down on what were the feet, and this will bring down this intersection. And now the part that were the heels in robot mode, going to flip down again, and this is a backing section to stabilize the tank, and just make sure everything is in, and then bring that out, and then finally what we want to do is take the barrel, stick it in the front there, and then this little bit will peg into the back down all the way. And here you have Galvatron in its tank mode. Classic scene. This is classic to the animation. Great look. And to be honest, in this mode, I really feel that the figure, the toy, looks best from a 3/4 angle like we're seeing right now. So just pointing that out. I mean, I don't know why, but it's just that 3/4 shot looks kind of good. I mean, obviously there is some play in the treads. Oh, and it does roll, by the way. So just if you're having problems with the treads and all, just want to make sure they're flat so they can roll. But it does roll. But it is very nice. There is some metallic touches that I forgot to mention earlier, so I think that's kind of cool. But really, that's about it. So we're going to come back, and I will give you my final thoughts. Real quick before I bring Galvatron in, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at the backdrop. This is supposed to be from Starscream's Coronation. Would it have been nice if there was a way to work Coronation Starscream into this, that you could have him on the throne right there, and so you could have Galvatron shooting upward. But this is the most detail I've seen on one of these in a while, if ever, because you have Astro Train, Thrust, and Ramjet right there. So I know Ramjet and Dirge have just been re-released, but Thrust, I haven't heard anything, and there's always a rumor that Astro Train would be re-released. It would basically be the Siege mold, but with more of an animation accurate deco. So that is kind of nice. So let's go ahead and just, bring in Lord Galvatron here, and mighty Galvatron. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Is this, I mean, it's very hard for me to recommend this figure if you already have the Kingdom or especially the Legacy release, because all you're getting is a deco that frankly we should have gotten already. I mean, especially with Legacy, they could have done this as Legacy instead of doing the straight re-release of the Kingdom without the Siege schmutz and the fixed shoulders. But I kind of understand, why they did it straight like that, since there were so many assembly errors. As a lot of other people have said, I do have a problem where we get a release of a mold or a character, and then sometime later, after everyone's bought it, we go ahead and get the correct or fixed version. And I mean, I understand, gotta make the money. And Galvatron, I mean, as we've seen, there isn't a lot of reuses for this mold, but kind of, again, it comes off as a bit of a cash grab that I'm not a big fan of. And I mean, if we could just have gotten this in the first place, that would have been nice. But it is kind of funny to think that Um, it's 4 years removed from Kingdom, so next year it'll be five, and then we'll be celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Transformers movie. So that's something I've mentioned before, but I like bringing it out just to help people suffer like I do about feeling old. But if you've never experienced this mold, this is the kind of the one. This is the one you want to get. Now, with that being said, I'm absolutely certain the Kingdom, Legacy, Generation Select releases, those are all going to really drop in price. Um, so you might want to go for one of those cheaper options. And for those of you who might be waiting to see if this will actually go on sale, while I don't want to tell you no, what I do want to say is that Hasbro made it clear that there would be no more package refreshes going forward into Age of the Primes, and that they were adjusting production numbers. So there just might not be enough Galvatrons laying around from the Studio Series 86 line for this to go on any sort of discount. Just some food for thought. Ultimately, decisions are up to you. I like the mold. I think the transformation is good. I think this is as close as we're going to get to Galvatron as he appeared in the movie and television series outside of Masterpiece. And I kind of shudder a little to try and think like what they would do to a Masterpiece figure. And I'm just thinking of all these thin panels and this and that. So I think this is really something we need to be happy with. But that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I will always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help communicate to YouTube through their algorithm that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't afford the $1 a month or $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. And I really do want to mention that that is true. I know we're in the post-holiday season, and it's many happy returns, but also many happy bills. And if you can't seem to swing in the new year doing the Patreon, that's fine. I'll still be here making videos like this for you and having a good old time. But that's about it. Once again, this is your old pal Chuck for Studio Series 86 Galvatron. I will crush them with my bare hands. We will see you next time.